Okay guys, so for today's strategy, I will be showing you an amazing high win rate strategy with high RR ratio, as this strategy yielded a lot of win, and without doubt, it's currently among one of the trading strategies we use. So make sure you relax and get your trading tools ready, as I reveal one of the best strategy you would see online, as we would be ranking it on the spreadsheet, to be compared with other strategies on the channel. So make sure to check the description, as link to the spreadsheet is there. Don't forget to also check the description to register with the best crypto exchange market in the world and get your first deposit bonus once you register. Okay guys, let's jump right into the video. Okay guys, so for today's strategy, we are looking at the Bitcoin United States dollar, and we are on the 5 minutes time frame. For this strategy, we will be using the top indicator on TradingView, as well as a volume indicator added to it for maximum profit. Now watch the video to the end to enable you understand the strategy, as we would be giving a lot of errors, so make sure not to skip so you wouldn't mess up the trade. Let's go ahead and add the indicators to our chart, and for the first indicator, go ahead and search for the squeeze momentum indicator by Lazy Bear, as gauging the market momentum is a crucial role for this strategy. And for the second indicator, I want you to search for the volume weighted average price, or you could simply type the Vwap and you will get this indicator added to the chart, as it would be considered as when to know the best entry for our trades. Now we have our chart looking like this. Let's quickly make some adjustment to these indicators before we move on. Check out our top 2 filter indicator, as they would really help you make financial gains in the market. You can click on the link at the right top corner of the screen, or simply check the description for the link to the video. Now let's first adjust our squeeze momentum indicator. Bring up the indicator panel. For the inputs, please do not adjust any setting, but on the style, change color 1 to pink and change color 3 to blue. Now let's go ahead and increase the opacity for these 4 colors for better visualization. Now on the plot, change these to straight line, and also change the color 0 to white. Increase the opacity and change the thickness to a thin line, as we would want to understand every changes on the squeeze. Now go ahead and do the same for colors 1 and 2, and when you are done, click on the OK button to fully apply the settings. I hope we can see this. Now this is not all yet. Go ahead and add 2 band lines to this indicator. Set the first line to 90 and also set the second line to -90. Note that these band lines vary for different time frame and different pairs. Do not use the same value if it's not Bitcoin 5 minutes time frame. Okay, now for the Vwap indicator, double click on it to bring up the settings panel. On the style, we will be changing the Vwap to white, as that's all we have to do on this indicator. Now guys, let's quickly go over the rules for a valid buy and sell signal. Before we backtest our result, please do not forget that there are a lot of errors to avoid, so make sure you stick with me to the very end. Before we move on, the green histogram on the squeeze momentum indicates that there are a lot of buyers in the current market situation, as well as the red indicates that there are a lot of sellers in the current market situation. For the pink and blue histogram, it shows less momentum in either the bullish or bearish momentum, as there could possibly be market reversals during this period. Now for our volume indicator, it is used to measure the average price weighted by volume. So the concept of this strategy is to find the best point of entries using the volume and momentum in the market. Now for our buy trade to be valid, we need to have the candlestick close below the lower band line of the Vwap, without its wick touching the lower band line is our first confirmation. Then we need to make sure our squeeze momentum is below the 0 line, without closing below the -90 band line. Then we would trail our entry when we have the blue histogram on the squeeze, but price has to close above this lower band line on the Vwap, before we go ahead and place a buy stop order at the peak of the trigger candlestick. So here we see our conditions were met, At this point is when we had the candlestick close below the lower band line, without touching the Vwap. We can see that we had our squeeze momentum below the zero line, but the squeeze momentum did not close below the -90 band line, as we then trailed our entry to this point, where we see we had the price close above the Vwap lower band line, before we went ahead to place a buy stop order, at the peak of the trigger candlestick, and our stop loss is at the recent swing low, while take profit is at 1.8 times the risk. And we could see it was successful. Now the first bonus tip that makes this strategy a high winning strategy is this. For this entry, we would have used 3 times our account size, as we got 3 entry opportunities which all trigger got valid at the same candlestick. Now see how we took the other 2 trades. But before we show you, please note that why we do this is because getting trades set up like this tends to take time, so we take advantage of every possible opportunity present, while we get a signal to enter trade. So when we got our first confirmation, whenever we see the candlestick touch the lower band line, and closes below it again, without having any candlestick touch the lower band, is a signal for another entry position if our conditions are met. So here, we see we got another candlestick close below the lower band line, without touching it after we had this candlestick that had its wick on the lower band line. And we also see the same situation reoccurring here, and as you can see, we would have made 3 times our profit. Please note that in some scenario, we might have different entry points, so let's move on to more errors to avoid. Please note that when we have confirmation to enter a trade, and we have the price close above the middle band line, we won't be taking such trades. As we see here, we had the price on the middle band line when we got the confirmation to enter, so we would be skipping this trade as it is against our rules for entry. Also note that when we get the squeeze below the -90 band line, we won't be taking any setups, as next setup tend to occur when we see the histogram above the squeeze momentum, as it sets pace for new entries if our conditions are met. And also, note that when price close above the lower band line is our confirmations are met, please make sure we have the histogram on blue and not red, and we could see that this trade was successful. Please note that we got another entry here, and we see it would have been successful too as price traded in our favor. Now because of time, as we don't like making long videos, we would only be going over the rules for a valid sell entry, as all the errors stated previously applies for short trades, only that you should always know it's exactly the opposite of the long entry. Now for a sell signal to be valid, we need to have the candlestick close above the upper band line of the Vwap, without its wick touching the upper band line is our first confirmation. Then we need to make sure our squeeze momentum is above the zero line, without closing above the 90 band line. Then we would trail our entry when we have the pink histogram on the squeeze, but price has to close below this upper band line on the Vwap, before we go ahead and place a sell stop order at the bottom of the trigger candlestick. So here we see our conditions were met at this point, as when we had the candlestick close above the upper band line without touching the Vwap, we can see that we had our squeeze momentum above the zero line, but the squeeze momentum did not close above the 90 band line, as we then trailed our entry to this point, when we see we had the price close below the Vwap upper band line, before we went ahead to place a sell stop order at the bottom of the trigger candlestick, and our stop loss is at the recent swing high, while take profit is at 1.8 times the risk. And we could see it was successful. Now make sure you avoid error mentioned previously on this video, as they are crucial to make this trade successful. And that's it, traders. Let's now backtest our strategy with an account size of $1,000, as we would be going over 200 backtested trades. And without wasting any more time, let's dive into it. Okay traders, we just finished the backtesting for this strategy, and we could see the results are amazing. We made a win rate of 73% in 200 backtested trades, having won 147 and lost 53, which made us 211% return on investment. And I found those wonderful setup within 7 weeks. And the good thing about it is that you can expect to make profit every week using this strategy, as the drawdown was not much. So traders, make sure you consider backtesting on other pairs. Like I said earlier, the filter indicator is just for Bitcoin 5 minutes chart, as other time frame and trading pairs have different settings. Don't forget to check the spreadsheet for daily updated strategies that give a lot of profit. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.